Let me get my microphone. I almost forgot. Okay. All right. Let me hook some things up here. Make sure uh, the microphone is connected. Give me a second. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? All right. So, looks like we can get started. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Fury. And let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Okay? If you can hear this. Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing, 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 one, two, three, testing the microphone out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you can. No. Nope. No, bro, they not. Mm-mm. Not all of them. Okay? You should know, bro. Yeah, you can hear me good, good, good. All right. Now, I got plenty of Decepticons. You know how we go. Anyway, Happy New Year's to anybody with anyone. As I have to do some upkeep to this corner, which I haven't done in about, some dusting, some things of that nature. And sometimes when I get a chance, I do this and it helps me take my mind off of a lot of things that's troubling me right now. And God knows there's a lot of things troubling you and me. And this weather is a bitch. But anyway, as you can see here, this is a good look at what I've been building for the last few years, collection, things of that nature. This is something I do on a side piece. My main thing I've been trying to focus on lately is my fitness, basically trying to stay in shape and all the other good things. But when your gym closes early on New Year's, it leaves you some free time and you end up focusing on other activities. So now I wanted to put light to people. I want to show people some things about collecting. It's not just sitting here. You don't constantly play. You build a shrine. That's what you end up doing. You end up building a shrine. And what you got here is just basically stuff you accumulated over time. Any Transformers collector can see that. Some people have moved on to, how can I say, masterpiece grade things where they're paying third party, they buying third party brands. And when you got third party brands of this type of nature, they can make things that are more cartoon accurate but a little bit more difficult to transform, and they cost a lot of money because you're shipping them. And I be damned. Check this out right here. This right here, Omega Supreme, gigantic. See, humongous. Look at that. I spent $200 brand new on Omega Supreme alone. Omega Supreme, the Titan one, the reissue at MSRP was $200. Now, I was mentioning something about buying a third party masterpiece brand that made masterpiece scaling things. If you want to get your hands on, I'll pick that up in a moment. Let's say you bought a combiner, and the combiner you bought like scrapper for the Constructicons. That one piece will cost you the amount of this to the order. It'll cost you the amount of this to order, and you end up spending about almost $1,000 just a to create a combine and put them together that isn't even officially a Hasbro or Takara product. You're spending on this money for it. This is my problem I had with masterpiece snobs when you come to collecting. Now, I do own things that aren't officially Hasbro. I can show you a couple of things I have that aren't officially Hasbro. And where's he at right now? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You're in my collection somehow. Look, this, my friends, is Power Glide. This is Power Glide. Now, understand, Power Glide, this isn't an official Hasbro item. This is known as Richtofen on the third party chain because this looks like Power Glide when you see them on the animated series. Whereas the official Power Glide is this little shit right here. You see this? That is not Power Glide. This is the Power Glide that you get from you collect from Hasbro. And then this is the one you get from third party brand Richtofen. This is called Richtofen because of course they can't use the official name Power Glide because it's an unofficial product. But when you purchase labels online, you can purchase insignias and put your own label there, like I've done with that, to make it more authentic. So yes, I do own third party brands because some of them have a more accuracy to them and stuff. But the way some people live by them, like they can't go back. Like once you go masterpiece, you can't go back. And I'm saying, shit, okay. You want to pay all the money for that? Be my guest. Be my guest. But that cost me. I bought that Power Glide second hand on eBay. Okay, like case in point, if you wanted to buy the official, if you wanted to get an official, well, not this is an official Superior put together from the Age of the Primes Aerobot series. So you bought these 27 each. Silverbolt was more because he was deluxe. So you're looking at 90, 27, 27. All right, so far about with tax about 150. Then the other ones, you paying you put you're basically over time you're accumulating about two. You spent about 200 something dollars creating Superior over time, right? Get that over time, not just upfront, because they don't come out at the same time. So you got Fireflight, Nose Dive, Air Raid, Silverbolt, and what's the other one name? Damn, I missed one, but you get what I'm saying. You spent that amount, and imagine paying for the amount you pay Caban for that Superior. And imagine paying for one third-party masterpiece brand. This just doesn't make sense. All right, KG, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Now, I do have official masterpiece brands, like a masterpiece ones. This is a official Takara Tony situation. This is Megatron, as we knew him, the gun Megatron. See, I do purchase them, but I don't let them consume my collection because they are very expensive. Whereas I got this offline for a good price. You got Megatron right here. I have Shockwave also. I know you know that. So there we go. Right there. See? Shockwave. These are more than masterpiece grade. Shockwave, uh, Megatron right there. Put them back in the case. And then I do have third party brands too as well. Of the cone heads, you know, like Dirge, uh, Dirge, Ramjet and Thrust of the nature. So I have a combination. It's mostly official. It's mostly official um Hasbro items. But as you see here, these are the bigger ones right here, masterpiece. But let's do a little trivia. Y'all got to know who this one is. I showed them off last night on the stream. Y'all got to at least know he's one of my latest to the collection. Y'all got to at least know who he is. Oh yeah, of course I do, Caveman. You want Studio Series Hot Rod? I got him right here. But you know who this is, right? Y'all gotta know who this is. And this is a latest release of them because they always seem to re-release them and design them. And I really have y'all gotta know Soundwave. Soundwave is a legend. One of my favorite Decepticons next to Megatron. And how conniving Starscream was. But they did him dirty in the movie. They did Starscream dirty in the animated movie. He got blasted to nothing by Galvatron, which I have Galvatron right here. But you wanted Hot Rod? Okay, I'll show you how. I'll show you that. You want Hot Rod? He's right here. All right, there you go. Yeah. All right, Hot Rod is right here. This is Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. One of the hardest to find because once he went out of production, he was very hard to get back in. My story is one day I just was in Target minding my business and I was going through the figure collection because I started like, you know what? Maybe I should start collecting something again. I was collecting Masters of the Universe Revelation figures based off of the Netflix series. And then I abruptly stopped those. One day I just happened to see him in the store and he looked so spot on to how I remember him in the 86 movie. And the 86 movie is near and dear to my heart, not just because I'm a Transformers fan, it's because my late aunt, rented that movie for me and my cousins, me and for them to watch. Me and my cousin and my other cousins, her son, who's a year younger than me, my cousin Omar, and then my other cousin who spent the night. We watched that movie overnight. We did. I mean, not and we watched it and we rented it, and I remember he was one of my favorite. So I saw him in the store one day, and I was like, bro, holy shit, Hot Rod. And it looked just like he did. I saw him in the bar. I was like, he looked just like he did in that movie. I got to collect him. This is honestly the first Transformer. This guy right here started what you see behind you. He started what you see behind you. I collected him, and I was from that point on, I was hooked. But Caveman, I got a bonus for you also. Give me 1 second. Let me just be careful how I pull him out of the spot. Nice and easy. Okay, there you go. So, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime. This is from the Kingdom series of Rodimus Prime, from the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom era. This is Hot Rod. The rumor is that they're going to remake him in the 86 mode. So they're going to do some changes to Hot Rod, to Rodimus Prime. And they said there's rumors that this will be re-released in the More Than Meets the Eye line with extra um, sub characters to come with it or extra accessories. If that's true, that he's going to be on More Than Meets the Eye like they did Perceptor, because when they did Perceptor with More Than Meets the Eye, he came with Ram Horn for Blaster. You know, Ram Horn is the rhinoceros cassette, and he came with Rat Bat for Soundwave. So they're talking about doing something familiar with this guy here. Okay? So yeah, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime. Size differential you see right there. But yeah, and I got the trailer right there, like outside of the camera. He comes with the trailer and everything, and it opens and it has a cannon in there and everything. Thank you, I appreciate that. So and it has a cannon and a mounted gun. He got a sword on his back also, which you never saw in the animated series. This is from the Kingdom CGI series. So let me carefully put him back. Let me hold you down there, Hot Rod. All right, so yeah, I have a few. And I try to be pretty knowledgeable about most of them. I do remember, of course, Springer, which I have. I have Springer, I have Cup, I have Ultra Magnus. But let me see how smart, let's see how knowledgeable the watches are of this stream. Who is this guy? Can you name for me who this guy is? And you should know who he is, but you got to name exactly who he is. Close, it is. But what was his new name? Yes. What was his name after in season 3 when he got rebuilt? You're right. You're right, Caveman. But gold, what is another name they call an insect? Yes, gold bug. That's gold bug. Mr. Formerly known as Collide said it. This is his name, Gold Bug. Bam. That was him. Like this was season 3. They rebuilt him into Gold Bug at the end of the season. I mean, yeah, at the end of season 3, they rebuilt him, and then that little short-lived 3-part or 2-part season 4, where they did the Headmasters, he was Gold Bug then. For this same voice actor, it's Bumblebee basically rebuilt. That was Hasbro. You know, the cartoons back then were just to sell toys. So they called themselves damaging Bumblebee during the hate plague when everybody was turning red and they brought back Optimus. Bumblebee got damaged badly and he got rebuilt into Goldbug. That's just the way of selling a new toy. It's basically it's Bumblebee. It's Bumblebee. But also I couldn't I couldn't go without showing you this man here. And I call him this man because he is the man, even though he's a robot. Um, and I think there you go. And this is the Studio Series 86 line Optimus Prime, which I have 3 of them. I got one right here. You said they brought back Allison because they knew they dropped the ball, which is why Duke stayed alive. Yeah, Duke. No, that was a reaction because people they thought, the creators of the Transformers and the writers was like, they're just toys. They just robot toys. We destroy them and we make new ones. They didn't realize how Peter Cullen's voice acting and stuff and the writing really made him an iconic hero. And when he was gone, because the only reason they killed him was to make new toys, out with the old and with the new. It wasn't because they wanted to hurt people's feelings. They just didn't think the series was they didn't think the series was that important. They thought it was just a vessel to sell toys, like most '80s cartoons. He-Man Masters of the Universe was to sell toys. See, unlike Voltron was a completely different animated series and had its own life before it became a hit over here. It was just adopted and censored. Okay, and yes, you remember be strong enough to be gentle, like his brother Larry said. I remember I watched it numerous times about the voice of Optimus is his brother Larry, who was a Marine, who was just maybe 9 months older than him. They're very close. I remember I watched that a lot, and that voice, Optimus Prime, is basically Peter Cullen's brother Larry's voice, him paying homage to his brother. That's who that is. But let me see what else I can show you guys back here. I can run through all these occasionally and show you here a lot of them. But let me see. Let me see if people are knowledgeable of the 80s design, of the classic design. Do y'all know what this is? This is recently released. Even though it's nostalgic in look, this is recently released. Can anybody tell me? Yeah, it's easy to know who this is, but do y'all know what series line is this? Y'all gotta know who this is. I'm waiting. Anybody? I'm re. They did the same with Silverhawks. Yeah. It's all right, K-Ban. It's RC. But this is interesting story. This is Missing Link RC. Did you know back in the 80s there was never a RC toy released? They never released the RC figure. So this is new. This is new. And I know RC, they spell it's pronounced RC, but it's ARCEE. This was never released, but the mold was created. They never created. They had the design. This is the design right here. But now they go under a line called Missing Link. This is from Japan. I ordered this from Hasbro via Takara Tomy, and they put it in this nostalgic box here because this is how the Transformers looked back in the day when you bought them. And this here is Missing Link RC. They took the design that was never manufactured and they improved the joints and the mobility of it to 90s, I mean to current standard. Because back in the day, everything was stiff and robotic. And the cartoon made everything look so good. And the toys never left you with that because they did it with Optimus Prime recently. So, thank you, Caveman. I know, I mean, I collect. I just don't collect just to do it. I collect this because I like Transformers. Like, so I try to be very knowledgeable what I collect. Because if I'm gonna blow my money on it, I'm gonna make sure I know what I'm talking about. So that's Missing Link RC, and then they took the original design of Optimus Prime, and they made Missing Link Optimus Prime. This is how Optimus Prime looked back in the day when you bought him from the store, but much better, much more mobility. Back in the day, his hands had to pop off. This model here has more flexibility in his joints, good ratchet, and the hands do not come off. The hands fold in. So when you transform them and stuff into the truck, the hands fold into the side. Back in the day, you had to pop off the hands basically and hold them to the side and stuff. So they took modern engineering and tweaked the classic Optimus design. And this cost me about $110. It comes with the trailer too, which is around here somewhere. I have the trailer up there somewhere as well. And this is Missing Link Optimus Prime. See? Now, one more character that I got that got a classic look to him of my figures, but they making a Missing Link of him also. I already have it pre-ordered. Is this guy here? This isn't Missing Link. This isn't Missing Link, but this is a reissue in 2000. This was reissued 26 years ago of the 80s. This is how Ultra Magnus looked, which is basically armored convoy. If you didn't know, in Japan, Diaclone Convoy is Optimus Prime, right? And he was just a truck as you saw him there. And he had an armored look, which is Ultra Magnus. If you take this off, it's just a white convoy, basically. It's a white Optimus Prime. And he had to you had to pop the fist off of Optimus Prime, fold his arms together, make him into a half truck with his legs down. See? That's all he is. Optimus with his arms folded in, with armor on him. He fits into the armor, which turns into basically the back end of the truck. He turns to the white truck. Matter of fact, I think I could show you guys. Basically, this is how simple old school Ultra Magnus was to transform. Because in Japan, he was known as Armored Convoy. He was just convoy. And you take him out like this. You take him out. You pop open the arms and you free him up from here. And look, this is him. And he looks very familiar. You fold his arms out. He looks very familiar to the Missing Link Optimus I have over here. But this is the old school design. So remember I said the fist pop off? The fist pop off. And you put the fist basically, I got to put them back on him. But basically you take him here and this was him. You fold the feet back down, fold that back down. And I have the parts around here somewhere of his fist. They up here somewhere. And you just basically you have this, and you got it, and it looked pretty much spot on to what you see with the original Optimus Prime, which this is basically the original Optimus Prime painted white. In Japan, the colors were completely different. Now they are releasing a Missing Link version of this, which will be with the armor, which turns to the truck. This turns to the trailer. That Ultra Magnus had all of this turns to the trailer. and you end up putting the pieces there, and you turn him to the truck like this, same way. See, fold the head down, fold the arms back, basically like this. Let me see if I get that right. Let me fold this first. There we go. Fold it in like the way you had it. Pop them in. Pop in the arms like this. I just want to be careful. I don't be wanting to be breaking these things, trying to be hasty with it. So I know what to do. All right. I'm going to fold this in like this. Make sure the head's right. Make sure that's in. And then push in. There you go, like that. Push out. Like you can stretch in and out the joint right there. You can go in and out like that to ensure the safety. And then pop it in like that. Fold the legs up like that. And together, make sure. And that's how simple old school Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus was able to transform like that. And you got the truck right here. See? Yep, that's it right there. Optimus Prime, well, Ultra Magnus. Now, you could take the trailer part. Let me take these cannons off of him like that. See? Cannons off him. And if you look down here, you can fold up the leg. See the leg that was here? You can fold it up like that. Like that. Fold this in. Like that. Like that. And you'll end up making a trailer. Once I do more things to it, you can make the trailer, and then you can fit him onto it like that. Once the gist of it like that. I don't want to waste too much time on that doing that, but it's very easy to transform compared to the new versions, which the new versions look so damn good though. You said they are the reason you became a truck driver? That's awesome, man. You know, you had the Peterbilt, you know, because you know Optimus was the flat nose semi, he was a Peterbilt. Like when they designed them basically as a Peterbilt. And then you push these in, and basically you can mount this here. And then the whole gist of it is when you put the cannons on the side of it like that, and you put Ultra Magnus, use the hitch, you use this white piece right here. See the white piece that was his basically his his long cloth basically. You take this piece off and you add it here to this part right here. You're gonna have two pegs in there. You see the two pegs? You add that piece over here and it makes a gap. It doubles as a gap. So you can fit the peg of the back trailer in right there, and you end up like this, having him like that, basically, to be a more to be like that. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a hobby, you know. Don't let that's the thing, man. Don't let your woman tell you not to collect these things. Because they, you know, we got people out here collecting little boo boo today, or whatever the hell that is. But then they want to get in you about your Transformers. See, look, and that's Ultramax in a nutshell. How simple it was back in the day to transform this one, and that's basically how to transform Ultra Magnus back in the day. But I would be on stream forever if I wanted to do the new version. And have you seen the new version in person of Ultra Magnus for Studio Series 86? This guy here. Have you seen this? Which is this one here is still boxed. What kept me going? Eh, I really don't know. I guess because of accessibility and just me wanting to have a collection I never had as a child. This is Studio. You said no. This is Studio Series 86 from the Studio Series line of Ultra Magnus. It came in a few years ago, and then it was very hard to find. And they re-released it, and this is him how he looks now. This is Ultra Magnus now. This thing here is fucking it's awesome. And this is still in the box. But I am not, like I said, I collect. So I got you covered. I got you covered. Here he is. This is him. Now, this is current Ultra Magnus. He's big. He's pretty big. So if you're an Ultra Magnus fan, Studio Series 86 one is damn near masterpiece grade, but it retails for about $100. It was 90, but thanks to President Trump and his tariffs, everything went up in price. But this is, let me turn the light back on in here. Touch light. There we go. Um, this is Studio Series 86 one. It comes with two blasters. Very intricate connection. Transformation. Very intricate. Yeah, so is Studio Series 86. Do not get it twisted. It's not easy to transform. And I think a lot of people don't understand why we do that. These things here, transforming them and figuring it out, it's like a puzzle for a grown man. It's like a nostalgic puzzle for a grown man. These here are not made for children. They got a more child-friendly line, which got less steps. These are made for teenagers and up because these take technique and it takes patience and time to transform. The better, sometimes you can get good at it and get fast. You can challenge yourself transforming. But what do you think, caveman, of this Ultra Magnus? This is the current Ultra Magnus. What do you think? Honestly, anybody that drops in and watch this, if you are a Transformers collector, let me know what you think of Studio Series 86. What is your impression of 86 Ultra Magnus? It's fire? You like it? And thank you for keeping the chat alive because a lot of people will drop in and won't say a thing. I appreciate a fellow Transformers fan coming through. Nice piece of work. Thank you, Mr. Formerly known as. Yeah, this is here, and instead of being a white, this is different now. You know why it's intricate? This is not a white truck that fits in armor. It's so much more advanced to transform. He's actually his body, his upper torso, it's crazy. Only his upper body is the truck. Only the upper body is the truck. Let me see if I can even show you what I mean. Let's take the flips off of here. So look, this here releases him from the shoulder. The only thing, the part that's the truck is this. If I was to remove this right here, remove that inside here, let the arms go, open the arms up. Look at that. You gotta go through all that. You gotta remove that. And this part is the truck right here. Let me show you. Let me get him off. Let me disconnect him. All right, so let's lift. Let me make sure I got the right piece. Whereas he comes off, it's like here. There we go. Hold on. You wanna know why this is so intricate to transform? I'm gonna show you right now. That piece there is the truck. All of this right here is it's sort of a familiar, transformation. Oh, happy new year to you. This sort of familiar to the old school one, but a lot more advanced. Now, we have the upper body right here. Look at this. That's Ultra Magnus' head and his torso. And you even can lift, you can even pop a certain part open. And he have the Matrix. If you saw the 86 movie, he had that in his chest that Optimus gave him before he died. They even gave you that detail right there. So you close these back open and you pop because it pops open once you lift that up, just like almost like the movie. This is the same way his chest opened. So now this is the truck right here. This one piece alone is the truck for Ultra Magnus. Pop out the wheels, open, lift up the back like this, pop out the wheels, and all these pieces are fold. You got the front trailer, the front look. It's hollowed a little bit, but look, pop the wheels, take the head, tuck the head down, turn the head around, and tuck it downwards because it ain't going nowhere really. And then you will create the body of the truck. And you will take this and you will fold this in there like that. And I'm going to create that here and fold this down like that. Let's fold the wheels down. But first, I'm going to pop this up from the back. There you go, popped up. Now, this is how you create the illusion of this being a trailer. I mean, the front semi of it. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to pop up the pipes, pull that down, and I'm going to put this in there like that. And then you want to press that into that corner like that. Press that into that corner. And I'm going to make sure that folds in like that. And it's going to press in. It's going to be pegs on the side. And you fit those into there like that. See? And into there like that. And you end up with the look of the trailer. Thank you. I appreciate that, SCP. And then you will have the look of the truck right here. And then the wheels will come down off the side like this. And you will fold those in like that. And you will fold up the back if you want. Or you will press that down, leave that there. And you will hold it down like this. You can do that way. And you have the truck right there. That's only that part is the truck. Whereas the rest of the body, even with the gun still attached to it, look, he still got holding the guns. This is how this one is. Now you're gonna see that piece there is gonna be where the trailer of the truck will hitch. When you put it in here, where it fits into that slot right there that I'm looking through right now, it will fit through there. That's basically the look of it like that. But you want to make sure this thing can roll on its own. So the back piece can go up and the head can stand and stand up more. And you want to have it flush to the ground so it can roll. You're going to have it flow to the ground like this. Hold it down and leave that there. Now, if you want to transform this, this is where it gets tricky. Hello there. Hello there. Hi, SCP-123. So now you want to take this. Let's take the side cannons off for a minute. See, I showed y'all a difference between, I'm showing y'all a difference between old school transformations and new school transformations and why these things aren't meant for kids. Now, you have this here. You want to fold out. This was the part that collected, that was where the truck, where his chest went, that connected it to his shoulders. This is will be his front right here. So you want to do is now the arms crinkle. Look, crinkle, 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 and you fold it. You fold this in, and then you take it and fold it up towards the front of the body, and you snap it in place like that to that one, and you snap it in place like that to that one, and you crinkle, you uncrinkle the shoulder piece. That's, I think, the only wonky thing about this might be the shoulder thing. Hey, what's going on, Torian? What's going on, D Money? So I'm going to show you that, and then you want to also first look how tricky the arms can be. You want to remove this tab right here, and you want to remove a couple other tabs because you want to be able to extend his arms out like this by opening this, opening the forearm, and you want to extend this out and lock this into place right here so it can go place. It's going to be a way that you can extend it like this. You see that? And you want to make sure that the segment, the white segments fold into that. And you want to extend that out here to the same way on this forearm. I'm telling you, this is not, this is why these things are for older teens and up, for 15 and up. This is not for children. And then you take the chest piece that was here and you flip it that way, like that. Boom. That's what you got. Now, you fold that back up this way, fold it back up that way, like that. If you want to keep it like that for now, or hold that off to the side, because I got more to do with the arms first. Now, you want to take the groin piece and you want to flip it in. You want to flip it inwards like that, or this piece here, you want to flip this down. There's a piece that go here, you want to flip down. You see it? You want to flip that downwards like that. And the legs even separate. I'm telling you, this is why this thing here is ridiculous. It's ridiculously complex. And just when you think you got it, now there's a double knee joint. You want to take the knee there and you want to fold it in. You want to fold it down and you want to fold it in to make the legs shorter and flatter. Of course, that's going to come into handy for a moment. So you want to ratchet that down and you want to do like that. And you want to fold these up because those are going to fit into this area right here. It's going to snap it to an area right here in the front. You know, snap into that like that. And the legs are starting to come together a little bit. You got more pieces that still is a lot of engineering on these things. Lots of them. And then you fold that forward. Like you want to fold that forward. And you want to do a double on that joint right there. So I'm going to fold that up out of the way because I want that to fit there. And then I want this to go back up. And then that flap has a double in it too. So you lift that up as well. And it's going to fit into this like that. It's going to look more flush that way once you get the legs down to a certain way. And you want to make sure that the joints are ratcheted properly on the legs because you want to fit everything to place. Everything got to be as precise as you can get it because these things are not easy to transform. And I got to keep bringing that home to y'all. So y'all be like, why don't you got it mastered? It's not easy, especially when you go days. Sometimes you go days without even touching these things. I don't, y'all think I'd be home playing these things? I'd be at the gym. I'd be at work. So your memories sometimes get tested. So you want to fold this down first. Oh, okay, it broke. Not completely. See these hinges are made to go back on easily like that. So I could put it right back into place just like that. There you look, back on. Complex. But it challenges my mind. I'm not going to even lie to you. It challenges my mind. And then the back could be where the other trailers go in, and I'm going to connect these right here. Now let me focus on working on the arms because I want to lift these up right here. It's these things that go up and down, like these joints here. And I'm going to take this out of here and I'm going to flip that over right there. And I'm going to flip it over. See, now the arms are even longer than they was before because there's another dislocate. There's another joint that comes out. See that? Now you want to flip it back like this. Flip it back. Flip it back. And I'm still not done. There's still more steps you got to do. Now, I want to fold these pieces right there. You're going to see these two pieces right there. You want to fold that in to lock the arms from flopping even further. or keep them down or that nature. You want to lock those in. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But first, I'm going to lock the shoulders up. And I want to flip this piece here. See, it's a piece here, and it's a piece here. You want to flip that, and you want to connect those like that. And then you want to take the front pieces that you flipped and snap that into place like that. And I'm still not done. I'm still not done. All right, so now let's focus on locking the shoulder hinges into place by flipping out another piece here, another piece here on the side too. It's so many steps. And if you try to do this with the instruction booklet for the first time, you're gonna lose your mind. And then after a while, repetition, they say, is the mother of all creation. That's the late David Carroll used to say when I would listen to his videos. And now you got this here, and I want to flip this one down as well, press it in, lock it in place, flip it down, press both of those in heavy, lock it into place. And then I want to take this part here and I want to connect it here. See, there's some swinging pegs right here. Some pieces here that you can peg in like this. It swings up and it leaves a certain peg in there that you can connect. And you want to take that piece here to the side. You want to connect it here to the side. Connect. There we go. And then you want to take the other one that's here and you want to connect it to this one. And you want to connect the arms together here in the middle to the forearm. Like that. And then you want to connect it to this side. And you want to make sure this is connected to the middle. And then you want to press and you want to make sure you lock this in the middle so it has more of a look. I'm telling you, complex, much too complex. The engine to my comprehension is just too complex. That's from De La Soul, the business. And then you have here, and you can turn this back up like that, because you can always drive in another unit like that. And finally, I can take him and I can add him to here. And what you see here is the difficulty of Ultra Magnus personified. And I try to have patience. You understand, I work 911 for a living. I'm an EMT. And I have to have patience because sometimes you got to do things precise or a person's life is in a balance. And sometimes we try to cut corners. There's no way you can really do that. But there you go. We got Ultra Magnus right here, 86 Studio Series Ultra Magnus. And a lot of these reviewers will time lapse it, but these things take a while to transform. But I'm gonna tell you that he's easier than Optimus Prime. I can tell you that now. He's easier than Optimus Prime. All Optimus Prime, all his is in his body. All his intricacies and his difficulty is in Optimus Prime's body. And basically, this is the body. This is the upper. This is the upper torso of Ultraman. It's different from the original one that I showed you. That's what it is. And then I'm not even finished with that. You can take the cannons right here and add it here. You put the cannons right here on the side. Like that. And add them to the side, just like that. And then you have more of a complete look of Ultra Magnus right there. Just like that. Now, you can take his guns that he hold, his you can take these and you can mount them to the side if you want to have a place to hold them at if you want. The joints can separate because in the 86 movie, it was a scene where he got blown up and he was in pieces and they put him back together and rebuilt them. And you can emulate that with this figure. So you can remove joints and put them back together. So you can do that with that. Now, transforming him back is a different story, though. Transforming him back would be a different story. You take the pipes, fold them down. You want to fold down the sides of the trailer like this. Boom. Fold down the sides. Now take the front piece, fold it in, and then you want to push the wheels in like that. And you want to push that way. And then you want to flip up that part because the chest is going to go here. And you want to fold the legs in here. Fold the wheels in again on that side. And you want to fold the doors, the side components in. And you want to flip it up. And you want to have his back like this. Look how fold in the pipes, the piping, fold it inward like that. And you take his head and you fold it downward like this. And then you will take his head and you will turn it around. And you will see that he's ready to connect again. Once you get this part up again, because it has a double joint, it has like a somewhat of a butterfly joint or a double hinge. You want to make sure that's in like that. And then you're ready. Once you get all those other pieces connected, you press that one and you press that one and you flip the head up. And yes, his chest got to go down a little bit more. So here you go. I heard that click. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you want to keep it like this because these will fold down later. You need these. These two things are very important. And there you go right there. You go back to truck to be in the upper. Well, I do have one in the box, to be honest with you. uh, I want to make my display, so I have to keep everything out. I got to keep everything out. I mean, so basically, now we can go back to getting this thing back into his body. Getting this thing back into his body. So now I'm gonna separate the legs, separate a couple of things. Get that off of there. Fold this out. I want to lift these pegs up right here, these red pegs, and I want to re-stretch out his legs at the knee because there's a double joint, and the knees back out. Now I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna fold this out, fold this down, fold this out, fold this down, and fold that back into place. Fold this back up. But first, before I do that, I want to make sure these joints on the side are pushed in. All right, it is pushed in. All right, make sure the knees is up. Knees is up. And I'm going to take this piece here. I'm going to flip it back down like that. I'm going to take this piece here and flip it up like that. Hold on. But first, before I flip it back down, I want to make sure this piece pops out right there. So you can see you see the two dots right there. You want to make sure that's in there. Let me make sure this is out of the way. All right, see? You would have kept it in the box. I know a lot of people would have. But I'm a glutton for punishment. So now I want to fold these back in the arms, crinkle, 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 like accordion. But first, before I do that, I'm going to take this piece out. Front, fold that to the front, lock that into place like that. Fold that to the, take this piece out, repeat on this side, fold in front, lock into place like that. And I want to flip this down. Before I do anything, I'm going to flip that down to the side like that. All right, there we go. Now, We got that out the way. Let's fold you back down. Let's fold you back up like this. Fold you up. See? Fold up like that. And let's fold that down on that side like that. Fold you up like this. But first, let's make sure that piece is out the way. And make sure this piece is folded in. So it can flip in like that. And I'm going to fold you down like this. And I'm going to take the forearm piece and I'm going to run that up like this. Forearm piece up so you can see the fist exposed again. Forearm piece up so you can see the fist again on this side. Close it in, lock it in. And make sure the loin cloth piece is down. Does this flip this way? I think it does. I think it flipped this way. That's the way it's supposed to be now. Now, chest piece out like this. Now, we go for this. You go for this and we fit it over there. You see the slot right there in the middle, we have slots in. You can go that way. And I think this is the right way to do it. Let's see. Otherwise, I might have to turn that piece upside down. I might have to turn that piece upside down. Let me see. No, I think this is correct. I just gotta make sure it's on there. There you go. Clicked in. Make sure the head is still up. Make sure the shoulders are pushed in. And them red pegs will peg into a blue slot right here. Same thing here on this side. See? Every person needs something to keep their mind sharp. Why do you think people do Sudoku puzzles when they're older? It helps keep their mind sharp. Keep the mind sharp. Now, we got both the guns right here. And there you go. And we're back. Let me just get this breaking news stuff out of the way. And we got it right here. And look. And we can put that back up. Let me ratchet this joint here. Ratchet this joint up here. And let me see if I can secure this in this hand a little bit better. And be good. And the fist, the fingers can move too. I forgot to show you. The fingers got movement as well. Look at that. You said you couldn't? You couldn't, but look, there you go. I want to make sure I put that in and see if I can move the finger a certain way. But, and look. He can throw a side kick, and he holding it on his own. And his ankle ratchets too. So he's throwing a legit kick. But yeah, that's Ultra Magnus in a nutshell for y'all. You said you couldn't do it? And back into the collection you go. But first, let me fix his arm. There you go. If you want to keep him with just one gun, you got a place where you can put these on the back. You can mount his second. They got these black pegs on the side, right there, all these clear pegs. You can mount it back here. You can hold one hand, you can hold one to the top. As you hear my dog drink his water, and you can mount that to the back to keep the gun to the side that he's not using. Hold one there. You could do that, and you could have him basically be like that. You could put him back into the collection like that. That simple. You said hell no. You said hell no, you couldn't do it. Ah, I tell you, man, I got patience, man. I got patience. See, it's a game of patience. Now, let's get the original Ultra Magnets back into place, which shouldn't take long. Original Ultra Magnets, on the other hand, is like this. Original one here. Let's flip the arms up. Original arms up. Now let's go to the truck. Flip you up like this. But first, I'm gonna get your head out of there. Look how easy it is for the original design of Ultra Magnus. See, that's what I'm saying. New school looks good, but old school simple. Because it was an invention of its time. And I guess they have enough sense to know that their fan base grew up with them. Their fan base grew up with them. So now, original Ultra Magnus is as simple as that. And with it, now look where the hands go. These pegs there, where the fist would go if you transform him into a white Optimus. Basically, there's the two pegs will go there too. So even back then, it had some sort of it had cool engineering to it, just not as advanced, but very like, oh, stop, hey, Petey, stop. And then you snap it into place like that by the pegs in the front, and there you go, in place, and look, like that, and look, like that. Fold the hands to a certain degree, and put the front piece on like that. And just pop that into place there. Look at that. Cannons on the side. And go here. And these shoot too. That's the thing that the new one don't have. These actually shoot. There's a switch to make them shoot. Let me pick that up before he chews it. Where you go. Yes, it actually shoots. See, the old school one didn't do that. You take the original one because it's simpler. I'm more of a cartoon accuracy type of guy. So I get where you're coming from. So my display, I want my display to be more of a cartoon accuracy type of person. I'm that, but I get for the simplicity of transforming with them. I get where you're coming from. So I'm not even gonna be. I don't even fault you. I don't even fault you. But yeah, like I said, they shoot, and then you take the piece that come, which is just basically a mask. Like I said, armored convoy, and boom, you have the original Ultra Magnus. This is a reissue though, and that's how simple that was. See, that simple. And back into the collection you go. But I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Because you, caveman, I'm going to show you one more thing. You might be happy with this. Now, this is from the official Transformers to Takara Masterpiece line. I think you might like this one. I think you might like this. This is Hot Rodimus, what they call him in Japan. But yes, this is Hot. This is Hot Rod. This is the Takara Masterpiece series from Transformers. And I have Bumblebee. I have Wheeljack. I have Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Optimus Prime. I think is that the MP10 version. I have Optimus Prime, and I have Ultra Magnus also. So yeah, and I have Jetfire. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. I just want to loosen this up. Hold on, let me just put him back in the display. Let me see if I can do this safely. There you go. There you go. Masterpiece series line. That is the movie version from like I think Rise of the Beast. I mean from Bumblebee or whatever. You have animation Bumblebee. You have MP10 Optimus Prime right here. You have Ultra Magnus. I think that's MP22. You have Jetfire, like the Shattered Dimension Jetfire. See how big this thing is? Humongous. And you have Hot Rod. You have Wheeljack, Bumblebee, and Exosuit Spike from the '86 movie. And they even come Hot Rod even come with the fishing pole from the beginning scene, where him and Daniel were fishing. You know, Spike's son Daniel, they were fishing. Look at that. And I also wanted to show you guys the rest of the collection has some of it. Now you can see there's Jetfire in there. Jetfire's in there, towering over Optimus. You got Ultra Magnus I put back right there, and a couple of things. But last and not least, I even got the Dinobots. Hey, hey, relax. What? I don't hear nothing. What are you barking at? I have Grimlock, Snarl, Slag, Sludge, and Swoop. And I was reading about the comics and plays transfer and man, they still make they still make those figures. Mass. They even reproducing those. But then you want to focus on my Titans right here. Which you probably I don't know if you've seen these early, but the Titans are humongous. You have the first Titan that I've ever owned was this guy here, I believe, Fortress Maximus. He is, I think he stands the tallest, maybe. Fortress Maximus is my biggest, my biggest Titan, like height wise, I believe. He's humongous. I have to back up to put him in the camera. This is Fortress Maximus, people. You see that? Fortress Maximus is my first one I bought from and True Believers True Believers Collectibles in Edison, New Jersey. Because I work also in Edison. But yeah. This is Fortress Maximus, which I remember he came later on in the series. And oops. I wanted to show you something too. Look. The head transforms to the head is its own transformer too. Let's see if I could press the button or something, get it to move. The head of it's its own transformer as well. Where the button at? That had the see that? This is my first Titan that I own. And this first Titan I own spiraled into what you see here of the Titans. And currently, I own basically Titan. That's Fortress Maximus, Arc 1, which is the Autobot ship right here. And hold on. Let me see. There we go. You got Fortress Maximus. This is the Arc One, which is the Autobot ship with Cerebros, which is the computer that comes with it, which is basically not Cerebros, Teletran. That transforms to Teletran One. You have this version of Metroplex, where I want the main version of Metroplex, the original Metroplex, which is that one's going to cost me a lot of money. You have a Guardian robot, which guarded Cybertron. The Guardian robots. Omega Supreme is one of the last Guardians. So these two are basically the same design. I have this little mini third party Omega Supreme, which is called Huge Dragon, even though he's tiny, he's smaller than Ultra Magnus. But he was my placeholder until I got that one there, Omega Supreme. And then you have the Decepticon Titans. You got Tidal Wave. Everybody remember Tripticon. Tripticon is humongous too. You want to see him in the size of his tail? Look at Tripticon. Big, gigantic one here. Now, Tripticon is on another level, but he transforms into a battle station. You see the car on the chest. That came, it had quality control issues where it would fall because of the weight of the car before. But I looked online and figured out and found a way to fix it. And it's been cool ever since. And I spread it to other collectors and they was able to fix it too. Because we try to help each other out in the community. And then you have you have Scorponok, which Scorponok is humongous too. He's not as big as Fortress Maximus, but Scorponok is a Decepticon one. Everybody remember this one here. Scorponok, heavy, heavy one. But yeah, you got him here. And he transforms to a gigantic scorpion, just like Black Zarek. Zarek is basically they pretty much the same mold. They're both Decepticon ones. So you got that here, and then you have Star Optimus Prime. When Optimus Prime died in Japan again during that series, they found a nexus of powers, a new power source, and it turned them into the Titan you see right here, Star Optimus Prime or Star Convoy. This was released recently. This is one of the 13 primes, which I have. How many I have so far? He's the 13th, but I believe, I got Prima Prime Onyx, Megatronus the Fallen, Alpha Trion, uh, Alchemist Prime, I believe his name is. Uh, I have Solus Prime. I have her. She's the Forge Master. I have Quintus Prime. I have Amalgamus Prime, and I have my Cronus. So I have a few over there, and he's one of them. But there's more to come before all 13 primes have been revealed. And then I have something that's been off camera. You guys got to know who this is. This is Studio Series 86. Y'all got to know who that is. I'll wait in the comment section. Go ahead. Y'all got to know who this is. Come on, people. Y'all got to know. Somebody, anybody, name them in the comment section. I don't have no prize for you, but your prize is your knowledge of Transformers. Yes, that's right. Mr. Formerly known as Collide. Got it. That is Devastator. But I got another Devastator too, people. I have the Titans Return Devastator. Now, hold on a second. This one here is bigger. He's taller. You see this size differential? Yeah, look at that. That is Devastator. I'm bad with names. But yeah, that's cool. Devastator, 86 series, very dense. This one here, they weigh about the same, to be honest with you. This one here is just, this newer one is more dense and more sturdy, but this one here is taller and just more towering. But it's more of it's a Titan class combiner. But this is the same thing, but Titan class combiner. Yeah. My friend told me in Taiwan he saw construction vehicles that had the same color. He wished he could have took a picture. But yeah, this is Devastator Titan class. Go over here. But also, this might be a little bit more harder for y'all to figure out. Who is this guy? You see the horns on his head. He's a combiner. He's a Decepticon combiner. And it's 5 of them. 5 vehicles. You got Motor Master, you got Drag Strip, you got Dead End, you got Breakdown, and you got Wild Rider. Do y'all know who this combiner is? Decepticon combiner. Anyone? Somebody in the comment section, y'all know. Someone. Mister, do you know? That's right, Stunticons. Minosaur, that is absolutely correct. Absolutely. And this one here, I use the DNA upgrade kit because the third-party company DNA, they make upgrade kits, and it came with extra parts. It made the trailer longer, made the legs longer. This thing here is, yeah, I got the DNA kit on it. So all this is all extra stuff that came with the kit that didn't come originally with it. So if you buy these figures and you want to add some extra flair to them to make them more close to masterpiece or something of that nature, you can always look up the DNA kits and see what they got available or other upgrade company kits and bring some extra flair to your collection instead of spending boatloads of cash from third party brands. You can always do that. Right? And make sure he's on it. Make sure he don't fall back. All right, there we go. Now, let me see what else I wanted to show you before I finish. I'm gonna show you something very obscure, mister. Let's see if you know who this person is. Let's see if you know who this is. Let's see. Do you have any idea who this is? Anyone? Anybody know? Somebody gotta know. Someone. This was new to me recently. You say you give up? How about you, Mister? Mister formerly known as Collide. No, nothing. Mm-mm. It's Nova Prime. Nova Prime. Another Prime. This is no. It ain't part of the Age of the Primes collection, but you had Nova Prime. You had Vector Prime. See, it was the original 13, and then it was primes after that. Like was it Sentinel was after that, Nova, Vector, and stuff. But the original 13, I know Alpha Trion was one of the original 13. Alpha Trion and certain lore, he built Optimus Prime out of Orion when Orion Pax got destroyed. See, that's Nova Prime. This is Vector Prime right here. That's Vector Prime. And this is a variation of Sentinel Prime. This is a variation of Sentinel Prime, which uses the same body as Astro Train for the Titans Return line. This was a Sentinel Prime, but I'm waiting for. Oh my God, there was about 40 people dead and 115 entered in the Swiss Alpine. That happened up in Switzerland. Oh, that's terrible. I just saw the news of that. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is Sentinel Prime, a variation of him. And then that's pretty much the head, man, you could take the head off of him, and it forms a little mini robot. And that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it today. I got some things I gotta take care of. I gotta eat. Also, I'm very hungry. And thank you guys for actually showing up to this one, so I can show off my hobby for the new year. Well, I've had it for a while, but it's one of my first on New Year's Day live stream. Last night I did one that went from Eve into New Year's Day, but this is my first official one of the New Year's. And I want people to know you might not collect hobby Transformers like I do, but we all got hobbies. Me, I used to collect games too because I used to work at a game store. So as you can see, that's in the background. So this is just a part of who I was and who I am now. That's what I look at it like that. But anyway, y'all, thank you for showing up. I'm gonna go take care of some things and uh run some errands because things close early on New Year's Day. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I see you guys around when I do my next thing about collections and stuff and show you some more things that I haven't shown you yet. Anyway, y'all, salute. Peace out.